Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, my dear students. Welcome to this video, which is the last video to solve conditional execution example. In this video, we are going to write a program that asks the user about his username and password. And then it will check the validity of the input against admin for the username and this password for the password enter. And the program will write whether each of them is valid or not. That means if the username is not admin with A capital, the program will tell the user that the entered username is not valid. And it will check also the password. If the entered password is not equal to this password, P capital A double S W 0 RD, that means the password entered is not valid. If the username and password both are validated with this data, with this valid username and password, the program will tell the user that his account is validated. Okay, so let us start coding. First, I need to ask the user about his username. So I'm going to use input with this prompt, enter your username. Okay, the data entered by the user will be stored in a variable called username. This is the variable, and it is string, so I don't need to convert because the user will enter the data as a string and I need the data as a string, so I'm not going to use any convert function. Okay, now next is to check the username entered whether it is equal to admin, which is the valid username. If it is equal to admin, the next step is to check his password. Okay, I'm going to delay writing the code for this part and write the else part of this if. So else of this if means the username entered is not equal to admin. In this case, I'm going to print a message to the user telling him that the username entered is not valid. So the username is not valid because it is not equal to admin. This is the else. Now, if the username is equal to admin, that means I need to go advance and check his password. But before checking his password, I need to store his password. I need to ask him about his password. So I'm going to use another variable called password and ask the user to enter his password. So enter password. Okay, then after entering the password, now I'm going to check the password entered whether it is equal to password. This is the valid password. Okay, if it is equal to valid password, to the valid password, then that means the account is validated. So I will print a message that the account is validated. Very good. Now, the else of this if statement, this is the if statement, and this else for the if statement. Now, if the password entered is not equal to this password, this else will be executed. So in this case, I'm going to tell the user that the password is not valid. Okay, that's all for the program. That's all for the coding. Let us review what we write. Here I'm going to ask the user to enter his username. Next, I'm checking the username entered against the valid username, which is admin. Then I'm going to go advance further and ask the user for his password. Otherwise, I will do nothing, just to display, to print a message telling the user that the username entered is not valid. So this is the else of the if statement of checking the username. Now, if the username entered is admin, okay, go further and ask the user for his password. Then check his password. If his password, or if the password entered is equal to this password, print his account, or the account is validated. Otherwise, print the password is not valid. So you can see that the checking of the password is executed only when the user entered a valid username. So let us go and run the program. Now it asks me about the username. Let me, for example, give him not valid username, admin. This is not valid actually because A is a small letter. So direct, it will give me the username is not valid. Here should be not valid actually. Okay, save and run again. I will do it again. Admin. Okay, now look, the username is not valid. It gives me that the username is not valid message. Now let us check it again and say I'm going to give him a valid username. In this case, it will ask me about the password. Let me, for example, give invalid password. Now the password is invalid. Okay, again, admin, and the password is password. Okay, the account is validated. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you get full idea about how to use the if statement. See you in next labs.